Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we get started, we'll need to run through our obligatory risk disclosure here. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we are. All right, just want to maybe confirm here. It's visible. All right, appears to be. So let's run through this. Okay. All right. All the contents being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand that the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, as partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've hey Wetlands, long time no see. Let's see, Aslan, good morning. Simon, good morning. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our let's see, we need to take a look at our news portal here. Hey Simon, hey Dirk. We'll take a look at our news portal, see what kind of news we have today. Well, very light news. Okay, this is kind of a rare occurrence. I've never seen such lack of news item here. But in any case, we have Fed member Musallam. I don't know if I mispronounced his name there, but speaking at 12:15. And then we have the monthly OPEX. One thing that was kind of strange for me, and maybe I just overlooked it. Oh, there's crude oil inventories there on Tuesday rather than the normal Wednesdays. But in any case, very light in the way of news. Always, obviously, always at the risk of maybe something on the sort of the Twitter space or headline risk, right? There's always some unannounced news event, unscheduled news event that could impact us in the markets here. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure and our news, we'll go ahead and turn our attention to our dark screen again. Well, there's not much in the way of news, Wetlands. So we'll hope for that. Let's see if we can get this to come back here once we move to the portal here. Okay. All right. Let's locate this. It's back. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and see if I can get my more important charting platform up and visible so that you guys can see, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that looks like it's behaving. So we're gonna go ahead and expand this. We're gonna go ahead and start with our yeah. So this is kind of a little bit of a new indicator that I'm kind of trying out here, just to kind of stay in tune with the multi time frames. Okay, I don't know if you guys can. I'm sure you guys can see this, but again, you can see here from 5 minutes all the way down to the week. Okay. The only thing that's indicating down trend is the 5 minute. We're talking about the gold here. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and open up the daily chart and let's get a sense here. Rather strong. Well, actually, a little bit of a bearish candle here at the moment, but the trend nonetheless is to the bullish side. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it is to the bullish side. So nothing really out of the ordinary here, other than the fact that we all we do see that we're developing a little bit in the way of a bearish candle here, a little bit of indecision here up at the highs. We're well above the VWAP. I believe this is VWAP. I just want to confirm here, guys. I don't want to see. We'll move this. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's VWAP. Okay. In any case, oh, actually, might be a multi-time frame kind of MA moving average here. Okay. So nonetheless, we have a moving average that's tracking the progress here. Let's see if I can maybe open up something or actually move something to make this visible here. All right. Yeah. So we have this is a multi-time frame EMA, just to kind of confirm exactly what we're looking at. So we have the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute multi-time frame EMAs here. Okay. This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Went back and okay. All right. So daily chart certainly indicating that we are in some sort of bullish trend. No surprise there. I'm going to make sure I have my visible range volume profile if I can. I'll open up that up. Okay, you can see that. I will open up my VWAP. That's hugging right on price, and we'll leave it at that for now. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and open up our 4-hour chart here, and you can see that a little bit. Okay, a little bit of range kind of price actions. We're seeing a little bit of overlapping candles here, which indicates some sort of range, but in an otherwise bullish market here, right? Okay, so 4 hours really, again, giving us almost the same kind of information that we were seeing on the daily chart. We're kind of zooming in on that one daily candle that was showing a little bit of indecision. Well, you can see that we have a little bit in the way of overlapping candles here, indicating that we are in some sort of range here, right? 4,400. Okay, looks like on the top end of the range, and then we have 4,300 on the bottom. Looks like we're ranging between those two price levels. All right, let's go ahead and move into the 30-minute chart. Take a look at the 30-minute chart, and we'll do a little bit of analysis here. I got too many blues, so we're going to go ahead and remove this for now. And then I have a multicolor VWAP. Okay, it's fair enough. Let's see if I can turn on. Where is my EMA here? Do not see my EMA. We'll need that. So EMA. We'll add the 9 EMA to this chart. Okay. It's change this to kind of a yellow orange color here. Just orange. All right, here we are. Okay, now it's starting to look a little bit more normal to me. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's open up our fixed range volume profile. Let's take a look and see where price is in relation to yesterday's price action here. So we're going to go ahead and start with start of Thursday, and work our way over to the start of today. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And that's the close. All right, so you can see that we're actually retesting value area high from yesterday, which is actually kind of an interesting location here right now. I mean, certainly if we are bullish on the market, or bullish in general on the gold, we're kind of at an interesting location now with respect to value from yesterday, right? So we have price currently at value area high and reversing away from it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that in green. My expectation is that this area could be supportive. Now, we are obviously price is still below our 9 EMA. We're still below our VWAP here. I know that's kind of looks like a multicolor VWAP is kind of shading. It's kind of changing colors based on whether price is above it or below it, right? So this is VWAP. I know normally it's in blue, but it's in red because price is below it. And then we have the 9 EMA that's also there, and we see that price is below it, but looks like we are developing maybe a little bit of a 3-bar reversal pattern right up against value area high. Okay, so could have the potential of leading us to maybe a move up to the upside. Okay. Right now, let's take a look at the initial balance here across the various time frames or various sessions here. If I can locate my initial balance, there it is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the Asia session and take a look and see what Asia was able to do with gold. All right, we'll start with Asia. Asia really wasn't, well, if anything, was more on the bearish side. So we got a couple of range, basically in range. Okay, so we extended to the downside, got a nice extension back down to this point of control. So it was initially bearish. We rallied back to the highs, and again, as we got closer to London, we went south again. Okay. So again, just an indication here that maybe we are in some sort of range kind of price action here at the moment in the gold, right? So you can see here London also kind of poked his head outside or below the range. Yes, poked outside the range, and now looks like it's trying to maybe potentially reverse here, right? Reverse. If we do manage to close above, say the 9 EMA, maybe that we get some sort of rotation, at least back to the highs, right, of 4,400 here. Okay. But right now, it looks like the market is a little bit in some sort of range. You know, Asia brought it down. London also is bringing it down, but we're getting some sort of reaction. Maybe the beginnings of maybe a failed auction to the downside is a possibility here with that, where we maybe possibly rotate back up to the highs here. So it'll be interesting to see how this current candle closes and whether we get maybe another candle here that closes above our 9 EMA. That could lead us to maybe a rotation in a market, at least on the short term, that seems to be in some sort of consolidation. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you for the gold market. We're going to go ahead now and move on to the crude oil market. All right. Look at the crude oil market. It looks like we've caught a little bit of a bid here. So we're going to take a look at the daily. Daily is responding to this 56 level. We've already kind of alerted you that the 56 level was going to be a level, right? It was going to be a level that we thought was going to be supportive, right? We're not just going to, plow through that level without at least a little bit of a fight here from the bulls. We're at this level now, so it would not be again. We haven't been down to this 56 level since May of 2025. Okay, so May of 2025. So it's what, 6 months, 4 months? I don't know, 5 months. Okay, 5 months ago, right? And the last time we came down to this level, we found buyers. Now, the question is, we have a developing kind of reverse hammer candle here. As I mentioned, this is probably not going to be an area we just automatically plow through, right? It's going to be something that more than likely is going to generate some sort of rally here. Okay, let's take a look at the 4-hour chart, see what the 4-hour chart has to say. So we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here. Turn off the initial balance here for a moment. We have a developing bullish engulfing candle on the 4-hour. Okay. Obviously inside some structure that remains very bearish. Okay. But if we do manage to close this 4-hour, that would be a relatively good indication that maybe we found some buyers that could potentially take the market higher. Again, as hard as it for me to say that we could get some bullish price action in the crude oil, I have to respect the fact that we're getting a bullish candle, okay, a bullish engulfing candle nonetheless, on a 4-hour chart. Not very easy to hold a candle bullish for such a long period of time. Okay, so that's something to make note of here. Okay, so let's take a look here at the 30 minutes and see what the 30 minutes are doing. Okay, so it looks like at least during Asia, maybe London for sure. Looks like we found some buyers here. Okay, so let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile for Thursday. And first of all, let's see where price is in relation to that. I think if it may be where we might even be in some sort of range here. Let's see. Okay, actually, yeah, we're just at the edge of value area low, right? So if we are going to continue to the downside, and the bearish structure would indicate that, then we're at an exact level right? Where we could see sellers potentially step in. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but this doesn't look like a very strong reaction away from value area low, right? So whoever or whomever is driving price higher looks like may mean some business here, right? We have price that crossed above the 9 EMA. Price is currently above the VWAP. Okay, we've kind of filled in this gap, right? So it'll be interesting to see how well this current 30-minute candle closes. Okay, right now we're about a minute away from the start or open of the crude oil session. Let's take a look now at the initial balance here and see what the initial balance is going to tell us here. So we're going to start off with the Asia market, and we're going to take a look and see what Asia was able to do with this market. Technically, what they did was they drove price lower. Okay, so we got to the 200% extension of this initial balance range. And then we managed to rotate back to the high of the Asia session again to find some sellers. Now at the tail end, certainly during London, okay, London said enough of this selling, and they came in and bought it up. Okay, so here you are, right? You see price has broken initial balance high here, right? And drove price up to the 50% extension. Now there we have the 100% extension in our horizon, and that would be a logical place for price to continue. So maybe there's a possibility. It'll be interesting for me, at least to watch, is if price comes back down to maybe the high of the initial balance range and offers us maybe an opportunity for another leg higher in this market. Okay, right? Yeah, a little bit tricky price action. Yeah, we drove price to the downside. We found some buyers here at the 50% extension. And then now we've managed to drive price not just to the high. We've actually broken a little bit of structure here to the upside, right? You can see that we got to close above some area of prior resistance here, right? So it'll be interesting again if price does indeed remain bullish, then this area that we broke above is going to be supportive. So right around this 57 level. Okay, so 57 is kind of my new line in the sand. I would say that if we stay above 57, then we're probably more likely bullish. If we cannot hold 57 and we start to creep maybe below the 9 EMA, and as far as low as say 56.75, then we're probably continuing our direction to the downside. So this whole area right here, from the VWAP 9 EMA to the top of this range, identified with this green line, I would say is technically a buy area. Okay, if we get the right kind of candle. Okay, right. So So when we break the ranges in both directions, Aslan, I guess you can call this a failed auction more than a sustained auction to the downside, right? So we tried to extend to the downside. We came right back inside the initial balance range. So yes, this would be considered more of a failed auction to the downside. Okay, so like I said, somebody at the 56 level said enough's enough. I'm not going to allow price of crude oil to go down any further, and we're going to buy it up, add to our stockpiles of barrels and whatnot. Okay, so interesting. Like I said, I'm going to be watching this 56.88, 56.75 level to see if it does hold. That's the 9 EMA and the VWAP. If it does hold, then maybe it does offer us maybe an opportunity to the upside. Otherwise, what we may get is just another continuation move here to the downside. Okay, so but interesting that we managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight bullish candles in one direction. Haven't seen this number of bullish candles in crude oil in some time. Okay, so I don't think this is done lightly, right? My expectation is maybe that we will get some sort of price reversal here at maybe at 56.80, maybe as low as 56.75. But again, I'm not predicting. That's kind of a probability, right? That I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Before let's see. Oh, we're pretty good on the likes. I'll just maybe make a couple of mentions here. Okay, guys. So again, if what I'm sharing with you is resonating with your analysis or allows you to support your analysis of the markets, I encourage you to hit the likes. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe, because I do. I don't always start right at the 8:30 mark. I do sometimes kind of slip into the 8:40 before this session. So hitting the subscription and notification bell when I do come online is beneficial, because you'll be alerted when I do come online. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the NASDAQ, which I know many of you are kind of chomping at the bit. Okay, chomping at the bit on watching. So let's take a look at the daily. All right, daily. All right. So again, here's some of my emojis from some prior sessions here. So we're going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings. Okay, kind of introduce some emojis in my analysis. Okay, so just to add a little spice to these reviews. All right, so what do we make of this? Okay, so looking at the daily, I'm just kind of scrolling to the left. All right, again, we remain inside this bearish candle. Haven't really been able to make any inroads to get above it. Okay, looking like maybe we're just consolidating. Looks like most people are generally happy with keeping the price around this 24,800 level, right? Maybe as low as 24,400, but we're not seeing all that much in the way of any sort of aggressive buying or selling, right? Yeah, right. We have candle wicks on both ends of the candles over the last 5 days, indicating that we are again in some sort of range. Okay. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, we have, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the initial balance range here. If I can, where is initial balance? There it is. We'll turn that off. Again, you can see that for those 4-hour candles, close this here for a second. I don't need that. Okay. So if just looking at this area right here, right? Well, what do we see? A lot of overlapping candles, right? If I can contain the price action in a box, we're not in a trend, right? If I can contain most of the price action over the last, I don't know, since Sunday, I managed to contain the whole price action since Sunday in a box, I'm not in a trend. I'm in some sort of range, right? And I don't know about you, I don't do very well in trend. Okay, I mean I don't do very well in range, right? If I'm in a range, usually it's quite challenging market. Okay, unless the range is super wide and I can kind of focus on my edges of the range. But in any case, all right, let's take a look here and see. Right, so on the higher time frame, it seems like we're in some sort of range. Looking at the daily and the 4-hour. I'm going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile and take a look and see what they have to say. And I'm going to go ahead and slam that across here. All right. So you can see that we are hovering at the low end of value here. Price is above our 9 EMA and above our VWAP. Okay. So I have to give a slight edge to the bulls here at the moment, right? We got a series of candles that indicate that maybe that we are in some sort of possible bullish leg of a range. Okay, that's kind of how I would phrase it. Okay, so the question now becomes: right now we're hanging out at the point of control, not really, the point that is just generating the most volume of trade here. Right, we're in this kind of consolidation range. Now, is this going to consolidation range going to offer us some resistance, or is this going to give way to maybe price action headed higher? Okay, right now we have price above our 9 and above our VWAP. So I would say at the moment, I would say bullish. Okay, looking at the volume delta bar, or I don't know if this is volume delta. It looks like it's cumulative delta. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, it looks like it might be some sort of cumulative delta we're getting some indication that maybe we are seeing some support, right? This volume bar, this volume delta bar is aligned with the general direction of the market. Okay, so indicating that we're getting alignment, right? There's no divergence here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at let's say the initial balance. We're gonna review the initial balance across the various sessions here, and see if that gives us a little bit of a guidance as to what these markets were able to do, and that maybe kind of leads us to kind of general direction here. Okay, so middle of Asia or tail end of Asia got a really nice extension here to the downside. Okay, again, once we broke initial balance to the downside, we can use the 9 EMA to have kind of held on to a very long, right? Let's see, this is 200%. This is like a 500% move, okay, based on the width of this initial balance range, even more, right, to the downside. Okay, now as we came on to London, right, London said, Asia, I'm not a believer of your view here. I think this market is going to go higher, right? So again, London extended the market to the upside and really didn't offer us much in the way of kind of an opportunity to participate in that move. Okay, now we're leading up to the US session, and now we're back sort of kind of at the highs of the Asia session. Now the question now becomes, okay, this is Friday, are we going to just rotate, okay, back to the other side of the range, or are we maybe maybe they trapped some buyers, Asia trapped some buyers and drove the market lower, right? Now maybe we trap some buyers again, potentially, right? Right, we're at a level where we could see maybe some sellers. Okay, so we'll have to see over the course of this candle and other candles. But right now, I would have to say, again, on the higher time frame, I feel like I'm in range. On the shorter time frame, I am bullish. I do see that price is well above our VWAP and our 9 EMA. So if I am bullish, well, it would probably be a wise thing to maybe wait for price maybe to come back to one of these levels. Develop a nice little channel, because I'm a fan of them, right? Nice little channel, kind of build up a reserve here of buyers here, right? And maybe just maybe we're able to get above this level. Okay, if not, then as we continue to get wicks and as we continue not being able to get above this level, well, eventually we're going to run out of participants and on the buy side. And eventually, it's gonna cause the market to maybe head back lower. Okay, so the longer we wait, I would say, without making a new high or without breaking above, then the chances are we could, rotate back the other direction. Okay. All right. So again, as I mentioned, I feel like the Nasdaq is in some sort of range on the higher time frame. We seem to be in the bullish side of that range. We're at a level where it could be resistant here at 24,800. Would not surprise me in a bit if we were to potentially rotate. But I do understand that we are in a bullish direction. What I really need to see is price to get above 24,800. That's what I really need to see, right? until it does. Then there is the possibility of the same sellers that came into this market here before could come back into this market again and drive price lower. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I have for the Nasdaq. We're going to go ahead and move on to the ES market. Excuse me. All right. Let's take a look at the daily. Like I said, these candle formations look very similar here. So again, I don't believe we're getting a reverse hammer candle on the Nasdaq, but nonetheless, looks like we retested the 6,600 level, or as 6,600. Some 6,600 appears to be supportive. Okay, appears to be a supportive area. Now, the question is it going to continue to be supportive? We're not going to see this today, right? But come Monday, are we going to get maybe a little bit of a, reversal pattern here, right? We got two legs of it. We got a two pattern. We won't know how this current candle closes until the end of the day. So let's take a look at the 4-hour and let's see what we can decipher here. So looking at this, we have, again, similar to what we were seeing in the gold, I think. I can't remember. I think it's gold. We were seeing a bullish engulfing candle. I can't recall, but the fact that we were seeing a bullish engulfing candle, maybe it was the crude oil. I'm not sure. But in any case, all these markets are kind of blending in here. We'll double confirm here in a minute. But we have a developing bullish engulfing candle, which is something to make note of. Okay, if we do end up closing this in the next 45 minutes as engulfing, well, that could potentially lead us to maybe a continuation move here to the upside. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30-minute. We'll do a little bit of analysis here across the various markets. We'll open up our fixed range volume profile and identify where price is in relation to yesterday's price action. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that and drag that across here. Okay, so we've kind of entered into the low end of the value range. Okay, looks like we are trying to get above the point of control here that I have identified here. We did, looks like, make an attempt to get above this. I'm not sure exactly what this line is about, but it looks like maybe it was a prior level of support here that we're coming up against. Okay, so would be a logical place for price to rotate that lower. Okay, maybe come back down to the 9 EMA, maybe as low as the VWAP, and provide us maybe a little bit of a retracement, or if you think we're in more of a bearish kind of pattern, okay, this could be a logical place for a continuation move to the downside. Okay, I understand that price is above the my 9, above my VWAP, but this was a prior level of support from based on what I could tell here, right? So this area could potentially be resistant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that as resistant, right? This could be a resistance area, and we could see price kind of rotate back to the downside. Okay, now if we do get above, say, 66.75, okay, so maybe 66.80, then we could use that level maybe for price to maybe explore higher. Okay, but until that happens, I have to see if I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer maybe at some lower levels. If I'm a seller, where I might be at a level now that I could maybe take an opportunity with maybe a tight stop here above 66.75, right? But we'll have to see how this kind of all plays out here. So let's go ahead and open up our initial balance. Let's see what we can glean from reviewing the various markets across the various markets here. So let's start off with the Asia. Looks like London was higher. I would expect Asia probably behaved very similar to the NASDAQ. Okay, nice extension here to the downside, right? In Asia, we found some support at 65.80, the 6600 level that we've been talking about. And London has been taking or driving price higher ever since, right? Now we're at a level where we could see where we could find some resistance. Again, if I'm a buyer, let's move this over to London just to confirm that, and then we'll finish my thought there. Okay, so again, we have this area here around 66.17, 66.20. These are all reference levels that could offer us maybe opportunities for further upside move in this market. All right. If I'm bearish, well, I'm at a level now. It's kind of a little bit in the middle of the range, so I'm not sure. Certainly 67.40 would be an area if we do manage to get above it, but that's a ways away, right? So right now, I would say as long as price remains above, then we need to see if we can find above the 9 EMA, above the VWAP. We need to see if we can find areas where we can participate in this market, potentially here to the upside. Okay, is kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. All right, I do understand that we are kind of reacting around this area, but we're not seeing this necessarily the follow through to the downside at the moment with this current candle. So it's kind of giving me a sense that maybe we are going to continue to the upside. Okay. That's kind of what I have for you for the ES. We'll take a peek here at the Dow and see if the Dow is going to give us any sort of indication as to what direction they want to take the market. All right, so similar kind of view here, daily chart, okay, reacting away from 45, 600, okay, so kind of maybe potentially creating maybe a little bit of at least two legs, two candles, okay, that maybe, but, I really need another candle here, and I won't see that until Monday, all right? So right now we're in the beginnings. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hours probably developing that bullish engulfing candle that we've been talking about in all the other equity markets here. So that's something of note, right? So over the next 50 minutes or so, we're going to get a sense of whether this remains bullish, right? Because this one candle is wiping out a lot of hopeful sellers here, right? A lot of hopeful sellers that thought the price was going to continue lower have maybe have had their dream of the monster short kind of washed away with this bullish candle that we're seeing developing on the Dow here. Okay, let's take a look now at the 30-minute chart. We'll do a little bit of volume analysis and see where price is in relation. So you can see, let's see where it seems to be at the low end of value here. So let's open up the fixed range volume profile. Let's start off with the open of the Dow here back. Okay, and then across here. Okay, there we are. Okay, so it looks like we're at the low end of value from yesterday. Okay, again, not getting the reaction that I would expect to see, right? Necessarily, right? If we are in some sort of bearish structure, this value area low should have served as a location, and we may still get it, a location where price should react and continue in the same direction. We're not getting that, right? We're getting what appears to be maybe some acceptance of value. And the more we accept value, the more likely we are to rotate through the range of value. So right now on the 30-minute, it does appear that maybe we are in some sort of bullish swing, okay, in this market. All right. Let's take a look at initial balance here across the various markets here. Okay. So London, very much bullish. Asia, probably not so much. Okay. Right. And Asia also offered us a nice extension to the downside. So almost exact replicas across the equities. These are mirror images. These are similar images that I'm seeing between the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the ES, all giving me the same kind of look and feel. I would say that, again, the Dow seems to have managed to get above this consolidation range that we've been talking about in these other equity markets. So I don't know if that's a indication here that maybe we are looking to head higher, right? We broke some structure here, and now we're retesting the same level that we started with. So the question now becomes, is this going to serve as a level that would offer us maybe a rotation back to the highs of Thursday's session? Okay, so this is looking a little bit more bullish to me, right? We are extended to the upside. Okay. So same kind of feel, I would say maybe tad more bullish because they were able to break some structure here on the left-hand side. NASDAQ and ES were not, or kind of in the process of doing that, but had not actually made it yet. Okay. In the Dow, we managed to close above. Okay. So let's go ahead and take one last peek across all the markets here. Okay. So here we are looking at the gold market again, and opening up not the Tokyo session, but the US session, see what kind of candles we're developing here. Okay. So right now, looks like we created a little bit of a 3-bar reversal pattern here up against an area that should be supportive here around 4,300. Okay. I'm going to, again, kind of watch and manage this on a 15-minute chart. Okay. And see, what kind of candle formations do I get here? All right. So right now we're inside the range, below our VWAP, and it's trying to get above our 9 EMA. All right. So again, I'm going to be drawing my channel here, The channel is going to serve as my guide. Okay. As long as I stay in the channel, I will remain in the direction of that channel. The moment I start to see price kind of leave the channel and retest the channel and reject this bearish kind of channel, then maybe my tune for gold will become a little bit more bullish, and that would be at least on the shorter time frame. Because on the higher time frame, we're already there, right? We already know that we're in a very bullish kind of structure in the gold. Okay. So on a shorter time frame, I need to see some evidence that they do want to indeed continue to take it higher. Certainly a break above the initial balance range is going to be something that I'm going to be looking for. A break above this 43.32 and hold, then that maybe gives me the legs to maybe get back to say 4,400. Okay, that would not be out of the realm of possibility here. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. I'm just going to kind of playing the sitting and waiting to see if I get some more evidence of what direction they want to take this market. We'll go ahead and take a look at. You're selling all your jewelry. You're melting it all down and see what you can get for it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here we are with the crude oil. Crude oil also showing some signs of some strength here on the shorter time frame. Kind of looking at this cumulative volume delta here and seeing that we are. I don't know. Looks like we got some sellers here, but that didn't really translate into price all that much. Okay, so there is some strength behind this move that we're seeing to the upside. Okay, looks like there have been some attempts to try to bring this lower, but those attempts so far have been kind of absorbed to some degree. Okay, so crude oil showing some signs of some strength. Okay, again, I think if we manage to stay above 57. Okay, 57, then I would say that we have maybe a reasonable chance of price maybe continuing. Okay, if we can't hold 57 and we start breaking below the 9 and the VWAPs, then obviously that will lead us to maybe another rotation or continuation of this bearish structure here. Okay, on the shorter time frame, looking a little bit bullish, but I know on the higher time frame we've been on some bearish structure here in the crude oil. All right, just kind of making one final pass across the equities here, guys, with about 4 minutes remaining. A lot of indecision candles developing up against this 24,800 level. Is that an indication that we could maybe get a rotation down? Okay, we seem to see a lot of sellers here up against this area here. Now, the question now becomes is I'm going to maintain, well, I'm going to watch this bearish channel to see if I do get some sort of indication as to what direction they want to take the market. I do know that price is above my 9 EMA and above our VWAP, a little bit extended, I would say, above VWAP. Would not be out of the realm of possibility here if we were to come back down to VWAP, right? Maybe offer us an opportunity at that location. So I'm gonna be again. I'm gonna wait for my initial balance range to establish. I'm gonna wait to see what the first 15-minute candle establishes on the NQ to see what maybe give me a little bit of guidance as to what direction they want to take the market. Right now, I would have to say that maybe as long as we remain in this bearish channel, then I think that we need to kind of look toward the short side of this market. Okay, ES. Similar kind of feel, probably a little bit showing a little bit of more strength here around the 9 EMA, but still a lot of indecision. Similar kind of feel. I think I say I remain bullish as long as it remains above the 9 EMA. If it starts to maybe creep below this, then maybe I entertain some opportunities maybe to the downside. And then finally the Dow. Similar kind of thing, although I think this feels a little bit more bullish to me, just because we've managed to break above this prior area of resistance. So I don't know if we're going to get some bullish action here, but in any case, we're above the 9, above the VWAP. Okay, all indications for now seem to be bullish to me, and seems to be a little bit clearer to me to the upside. We do obviously need to get above this 46,225. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it, guys, for me and for the week. I'm just going to pause here to see if there's any questions other than Wetland selling all her jewelry because of the wonderful price of gold here at the moment. Yeah. So again, remember, guys, today is Friday, right? This is what they call Capital Preservation Friday. If opportunities present themselves and they're aligned with your strategy, you want to take them. But we don't need to be super aggressive today because we could be in for, relatively kind of range kind of day today, right? Because there's probably not a lot of participants that necessarily want to carry a lot of too much of a portfolio into the weekend, right? So that's something to keep in mind here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close off this session as we close all the sessions. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, Aslan. All right, guys, have a excellent day trading, an excellent weekend, and we'll be back at this on Monday. All right, guys. And that's a wrap. All right, guys, have a good day, and we'll talk again soon.